Welcome to Bootstrap Farmer's Hoop House Quick Start Guide. Let's begin by squaring your area. Set your first corner post, measure the width, set your second corner post, measure the length, and then the width again for your third and fourth post. You can now begin by measuring the diagonal from your first post to your third post, and then from your second post to your fourth post. The goal is to never remove the first post and adjust posts 2, 3, and 4 until they exactly measure the same from corner to corner. If you chose the weed barrier option, this is now the time to install that. Next, you will run a string line from your corner post lengthwise down the length of the building. Level the string line, and using the included post driver, lower your ground post every 4 foot along the string. Next, you'll install your baseboards. Use the 4.5 inch by 1/4 inch carriage bolt from inside to outside through holes you will drill in your ground post and the baseboard at the same time. It's now time to bend your pipes to make hoops. Start 9 inches from the tapered end, insert into the collar of the hoop bender, and pull down. Be careful not to pull down all the way, and move your pipe approximately 18 inches and repeat. Take note not to twist your pipe as you're bending. Use the included extension bar to give yourself a little extra leverage, and again, be careful not to overbend. Use the 3/4 inch self-tapping screws to join the pipes to form your hoops, and be careful to do that from the side. It's very common for hoops to be a little wider before you start setting them into the ground post. Set one end into a ground post, and then have your partner push in or pull out to go into the other ground post. You'll connect your hoops to your ground post with a 1/4 inch by 2 inch hex bolt, nut, and washer. Throughout this process, you'll notice that the hoops at this point will not exactly line up, and those adjustments will come during your hip board and ridge pole installation. Next, put your cross connectors on your hoops, but don't tighten down until your ridge pole is assembled and slid into the loose cross connectors. You'll now install your hip boards on the hoop. Mark all the way across, level, and with a partner and a clamp, begin setting your hip boards. Drill a 1/4 inch hole through the board and through the pipe, and then secure with a 1/4 inch by 4 inch carriage bolt with a nut and washer. It's now time to install your lock channel for your spring wire. You can install your channel to wood by using the 1 1/4 wood screws every 18 inches or so. When installing the lock channel on the ends of your high tunnel, you can clamp the end and use the 3/4 inch self-tapping screws, and the channel will bend along the curve of the hoop. There's many ways to build an end wall. The most common components are a baseboard and then studs to form supports, your door frame and header to secure your door, with lock channel to secure plastic with wiggle wire. Any studs and your door frame can be secured by notching out a space for the hoop, and when accounting for the width of your door, be attached with one of the included carriage bolts, washer, and nut. Make sure any studs or door frames don't extend past your hoop. If you don't use a pre-made door or screen door, you can build your own with lumber, but it's a good idea to support any corners with plywood, as wood doors can become quite heavy and are used very often. When sizing your door and considering your end wall construction, think about the equipment, your crop, any maintenance, foot traffic, and daily use, period. There's going to be a lot of people and a lot of things come in and out of that door, sometimes many times a day. Make sure it's not a burden for you in the future. And now we get to the part that makes people the most nervous, but I promise is really not that bad. Unfold your plastic, and with a minimum of 2 people, bring your plastic over the frame, either from the side or lengthwise, and then begin securing the plastics, starting at one end on the hoop by installing spring into the lock channel. Make sure you drape over enough to cover your end walls, and then start on the other side, stretch, and do the same. For your sides, you'll either go all the way down if you don't have a hand crank, but if you are installing a hand crank, just remember to keep things pulled tight as you go. A quick note on the sides: if you do not have the hand crank option, you can secure the very bottom of your tunnel at this point. But if you do have a hand crank, you'll roll up 3/4 inch conduit with the couplers that are included in your roll-up kit. Roll up the excess plastic to where about an inch is off the ground, and install the included snap clamps roughly every 2 feet. Using the weight of the conduit to put tension on the plastic, you can now secure your plastic in the lock channel along the hip board. Simply place the spring wire into one end of the lock channel and push in as you go up and down. And now you're ready to install your hand crank by drilling a hole and using the included bolt to connect to the EMT. Once your hand crank is attached, you can drive a piece of 1/2 inch scrap EMT into the ground and then install a 3/4 inch of EMT that you can bend in your hoop bender to match the curve of your hoops, which becomes the guide rod for your hand crank. Take note that the first time you use the hand crank, you'll have to hand roll and make adjustments up and down the length of the building until it's even. And congratulations, you've now built a high tunnel on your own that'll last you many seasons. For more information, visit bootstrapfarmer.com.